Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We are in the winter match of the first group in the CNSL Season 6 round of 32. Right now we have two very strong players going at it. Up here in the top left of Dark Origin, we have ZeLoT. This guy, the most aggressive pro gamer out there, extremely strong, and actually kind of a surprise he didn't make ASL in the last season. So definitely one of the favorites for this tournament. His opponent, going to be Ridesky. Ridesky, of course, one of the top ladder players for years and years. This guy still looking for his big breakout into ASL. But honestly, I think another one of the high-ranking favorites of this tournament. Like, I kind of expect him to go to about the round of 8-ish. I guess it matters. Obviously, he has to make it out of this group. I think he's favored to do that, along with ZeLoT. But you know, it has to do with who is in your group for the round of 16, because there's a lot of very strong players in this tournament. So we'll see. As far as this map goes, it is Dark Origin, a two-player map. This is generally considered, I think, to be a little bit favored for Terran. It's hard for Zerg to move around very much, right? Once you get those contains up, Terran's in a pretty good spot. So as long as you gain map control, which, you know, generally you're always going to get map control as Terran, you know, after you've kind of dealt with Mutalisk harassment a bit, whether that's via getting some vessels out or Valkyries out, or going into enough Marines and medics that you can kind of just push out onto the map. Of course, if there gets to be up like a lurker contain or something, then it turns around completely. But I'm just saying, the more standard games, that's not as likely to be the case. Now, Ridesky is going up the side. He got a quick gas here. And it looks like, yeah, he's doing a proxy factory right now. Now, this is a one-base pool coming out of ZeLoT. So he's actually preparing for some cheese play. And in fact, as his drone comes down, he's going to figure this out pretty quickly, that something's amiss. Pretty quickly. Gets in here, gas, no one's mining. Look at this, it's like no SCVs. It's like the quickest factory ever made. Look at, like, seriously, that's kind of insane. I was kind of doing the intro, but look at how few SCVs he has right now. My God. There's like no Marines. One Marine is being made at the moment. This is like an ultra dangerous thing that's going on right now. I think this is actually might be like Royals build from a couple of ASLs ago with the super fast Vulture. But let's see. There are a few lings out. Here the lings go to hit Ridesky. He needs this bunker up 100%. The bunker actually might save him here, in fact. Oh my God, he's just going to get in. He just gets in. He needs to get on top of the bunker, though, for repair. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you got to be careful about that. Now, the first Vulture is on the way right now. And, I mean, obviously you don't have, like, a sunken or anything ready here. So this is going to be tough. ZeLoT, I'm sure, has dealt with cheeses like this before, but let's see what Ridesky's going to do. If he loses the Vulture, he's in the worst spot ever. But as long as he keeps it alive, this is going to be very hard for ZeLoT to get anything done. Look at that. You can see some really great micro coming out of Ridesky. Needs to be able to execute this perfectly. There's a possibility ZeLoT tries a play like, oh, well, he's going to try a flank. That looks like exactly what he's going to do here. A lot of Zerglings, but escapes with one. As long as he's got one up, he can kill basically infinite slow Zerglings. Now, the Zergling speed upgrade is on the way. Hydralisk Den coming out as well. That might be his best defense for the future here. More Vultures being made. Back at home. Oh, gosh, he's killing one of his own Marines because he needs the extra supply. He needs to continue to produce these. Only 9 SCVs right now. So there's still a shot here for ZeLoT, just to make it clear. We have speed still coming up. The Hydralisk Den still coming up. So funny that 11 drones is a bigger economy than what Terran has. He's got to basically kill him with this. And you might be thinking, why does he make a sunken? Well, oh my God, that flank, very important. Mostly keeps the Vultures alive. Okay, you've got to micro so heavily here. Oh my God. He's gonna kill everything. 2 Hydras on the way. Zergling speed finishes just after he loses all the lings. This is looking like a Ridesky victory right now, but we will see. And like I was mentioning, if you try to put a sunken here, they just walk around the other side. So it's like really not that useful. Now, the Hydras are out, but he's just going to target down drones. And honestly, if he kills, like, all the drones, that'll basically just do it. 4 drones against 10 SCVs. That is not the place that you want to be in right now as ZeLoT. Like, that is, you can't support anything. He's got 2 very hurt vultures, a 3rd vulture coming up. But honestly, like, even if you clear this, it's going to be hard to remake your economy. You just don't have a lot. As long as continual pressure is occurring from Ridesky, I think he's got this. Now, comes up with those Hydras, but of course, with those flick shots, you can just rail down the Zerglings so quickly. He's trying to make some more Hydras here, and he'll be able to target down the Hydra as well. My God. In this early of a game where there's no upgrades, vultures actually absolutely can beat Hydralisks. He can't really break up the ramp right now, but what do you do here, right? He's trying to make some drones. He has 3 Hydras up the ramp. I think up the, well, with the Marines coming up, I think that's actually going to be it, honestly. I think if you push, he's repairing, and the Hydra's going to come down, pick off what they can, because the repair was incoming. But if you repair this all and then try to push up the ramp with the Marines, like, you just have way too much damage. And I think that is just about it. Oh my gosh. What a build here coming out of Ridesky. Very cheesy play, but he is going to be able to overwhelm ZeLoT. He lost too many drones, unable to hold on against the constant vulture harassment. The constant pressure. GG. Ridesky advances. So getting into the next game here, this is the losers match of Group B, and it is between Jiter, our Korean Terran player, probably the most underrated player in the tournament, or the biggest underdog, I guess is the right thing to say. I'm not sure if the rating is right yet, and he is going up against the Chinese player RushGoon. This is the first scout that we're seeing. They're both doing regular factory openers, as you can see, just very standard. And Jiter is going to figure out first that RushGoon is doing that. RushGoon, you know, scouting just a little bit later. You can scout, honestly, based on what build you're doing, you can scout pretty darn late TVT and get away with it. You know, there's builds that are kind of catch-alls, and there's builds where you need to kind of figure out what they're doing. It really matters what your plan is. The later you scout, the more standard what you're doing probably is. Since, you know, the most standard factory expansions live through almost everything. With just their normal play. So, anyways, we'll see what they end up doing. One of these guys is about to be eliminated. Honestly, I don't know who I favor. Like, I've seen a lot more of RushGoon's games. Jiter, I just don't really know. You know, he was on a Korean pro team. Haven't seen him ever, really, until this tournament, unless maybe there's an AK I don't know of. But yeah, if you were ever a Korean pro, I kind of favor you over everyone, right? RushGoon is a strong player, but he's not like super strong, right? Like RushGoon is obviously good, but he's not like a Mihu type where you're like, well, Mihu, actually, I would favor Mihu against a Korean pro that I didn't know, there's very few of those. So we'll see what RushGoon is able to do. Right now, it's just looking really standard for both sides. RushGoon with a quicker second factory doesn't necessarily really mean anything that he has this quicker second factory. He is getting a quick armory here as well. That's a very quick armory. So it looks like he's going to go 2 factory, no add-ons with vultures to try to put pressure onto his opponent, catch him making an add-on, which is exactly what he's doing here, and go into the Goliaths to follow that up. A very good play. No doubt about that. A very good play from RushGoon. This is a well-known build order. You know, you're mining with the 2 SCVs and gas to just consistently have enough gas for Goliaths. And basically what you're trying to do is hit your opponent when he has less vultures than you, right? And this is turning into 3 factory vulture from Jiter. Honestly, this looks very good for RushGoon. Like, I would be happy with this build against this build. All right, so he's got 3 vultures down here. You have to be careful because there is travel distance, right? So you have to wait for, like, sometimes 2 vultures out of your second factory, which was quicker than your opponent's, something like that. Comes in, snipes off that 1, but takes some damage. Okay, he starts to engage. There's another vulture coming up, but this is actually pretty good for Jiter right now. The next vulture comes up. He gets a little lead on damage, with these other two, and it looks like he's going to kind of trade out evenly here. Oh, man. Definitely that was better for Jiter. So now I favor Jiter pretty heavily. He is making nothing but vultures, so that does make the Goliaths a little bit stronger. But walking the Goliaths across the map and they have no other units with them, I honestly don't like this at all for RushGoon. Like, I play a modified version of this build a lot myself on the ladder. And when you lose those initial vultures and you don't get an overwhelming victory, like if you knock out 6 vultures with your 4 vultures because they come out stifled from your opponent, right? Then you're in an okay spot like this. But when it's like an equal trade, then your opponent just gets a lot. Like, look at this. This is a lot of vultures coming across the map. He's getting mines. He's getting a tank. He's getting his own Goliath tech there with the armory. But he's got enough vultures that it's hard to really move around with this army, right? Like, you can try to walk out, but if he counterattacks, he's going to get more SCVs than you'll get with this. That's for sure, because he's going to have units popping out, and vultures just target down SCVs so well. So you can see he is doing exactly that counterattack. Now, oh, RushGoon trying to get a wall off, and he will get the wall partially. But you're able to target that down very quickly. See, the one Goliath going to have a hard time blocking these. Oh, some bad AI right there. So that does help him out a little bit. The counterattack is coming down. Let's see what he gets done with this. Honestly, like, RushGoon, you know, he's not dead right now. And he is going to try to attack. This tank of Jiter is walking out forward. Oh, this is crazy. He gets up the ramp. So this is going to be a lot of death happening over in RushGoon's base. The Goliaths, of course, pick off that first siege tank very easily. But is he going to be able to push the actual ramp with this set of units? That, I think, is the big question here. Now, the Vultures killing off a ton of SCVs. Yeah, you know, it's a disadvantaged position if you don't get the early lead in Vultures with a build like this. So kind of unfortunate. And I got to say, that is a pretty strong hold from Jiter. I think, without a doubt, you can just look at this and say, yeah, RushGoon's pretty dead. He's down to like 6 SCVs right now. The last of the Goliaths going to get cleaned up as well. And that's going to be all she wrote, right? GG. RushGoon is eliminated. All right, so we are going to finish this group up now. Some fast games in this group, no doubt. This is the 5th and final game. It's going to be between Jiter, who is doing a wall-in here on Vermeer, and ZeLoT. Obviously, ZeLoT is going to be favored quite a bit going in here against Jiter, but, you know, when you get up to this level, your mechanics are going to be very strong, right? So there is this one thing about ZeLoT that makes him a bit more volatile than some of the other Zergs, and it's his aggression. If you block the aggression and follow that up with solid macro and micro, it gets very hard for the aggressive Zerg, right? Just aggressive playstyles are, by their nature, more volatile. It's like, okay, well, if you're going to be attacking, if you're going to be taking a few risks and try to end your opponent early on, if they block that, well, you're going to have a higher % chance of dying. But oftentimes, you're going to be able to punch above your class as well, right? Like, you're going to be able to take out players with these aggressive openers that might be caught off guard by them. Well, either way, it looks like pretty standard openers. This is just a standard expansion here from ZeLoT. Jiter going down to scout that. He actually finds him first, so he's going to go ahead and just make his command center, right, off of a single depot. So that's like kind of the build that you're looking for a lot of the time, especially if you wall in like this. You know, you get it a little bit quicker off of the 15 command center. Get those SCVs flowing a little bit faster. And, of course, he's already got the wall to try to defend any incoming attacks from ZeLoT. So I think that this is like, as far as the openers go, it's not that Jiter has an advantage, but this is the best you would hope for. Is a good position for walling. Solid wall is up. You scout your opponent first. You get your command center as quickly as possible. So we'll see if he's able to carry that forward and actually have a real advantage somewhere. Now, ZeLoT actually makes 6lings to start off here. I think that this has to do with the fact that he didn't scout him yet, right? So he is going to scout him now and see that it's a wall. He's going straight across, actually. He's going straight across. Jiter needs to bring SCVs down immediately. Like, he needs 2 SCVs here, I think. Like, he needs 1 blocking each entrance. You got to be careful about this. Like, even though you have the wall and it's kind of stupid for your opponent to attack, if they get in there and you have very few units, like, look. Oh, my God, he didn't have hold position on the SCV. The flank comes in. Are you actually kidding me? GG! ZeLoT advances!